Hi, this is your quick start guide to using Adiona's command software. Here we are looking at the select page, and this is where you'll see datasets come through. Data that has been sent via the API or any data that has been via the upload feature all will appear here. We'll be given a unique ID here on the right and a timestamp and the time that it was uploaded. Any name data that's been sent through with it will be shown here, as well as any zone data and the status. Let's walk through the statuses really quick. When you first upload a data set, it'll be set at review, and that means that it has not been sent through to the optimization engine yet, and it is waiting for a manual send on that. Once you have sent it through to the optimization engine, you'll see another status that says pending, and that will be there until it's either done or it's failed. If it's failed, unfortunately, you'll get a failed box like this, and then you'll see some contextual information. Here you see that there's an error in the customer time window, and that needs to be fixed up before the job can be optimized. Once it's optimized, you'll get the green circle that shows you that it's optimized, and you can go in and have a look at it. And once you've reviewed it, you can then save it, edit it, save it again, and sync it. Syncing it means that you've sent it back to your server, assuming that you've been set up on the API properly. So let's just have a look at an optimized job. Now this is going to take us to the optimized page, but I actually want to look at this job on the input page first. So let's go back here first. So when the job has come through and it's set to review, it would look like this. You would see a table with all of the jobs in here. Each one of them is filterable, and so you can search for specific jobs that you want in this form. You can search for any of these fields. You see typical data like the address, the lat long, start time, end time, and demand. And then all of the jobs, of course, shown on a map. And you can drill down and look at individual jobs on the map as well. And that helps you figure out the job IDs if you want to search for them and edit them. If you do want to edit a job, you can tick here and use the edit feature here to edit things like the location, the time windows, the demand. You can even use that to delete customers as well. And it's all batchable. So if you were to choose an entire set of jobs, like say an entire set of time windows that you wanted to delete, this smaller group, you could then go into the edit page and delete them all in one batch as long as they're selected like this. Here in this tab, you see the vehicles that have been set up. Those have been sent through via the API and they can be edited. Vehicles can vary. You can have whatever your maximum fleet available is can be shown here. And then the algorithms will choose the specific vehicles that result in the lowest cost and the lowest amount of time for your delivery or pickup operation. And in the settings, you can override any settings that have been sent through in the metadata for the API or settings that have been sent through in the metadata over the upload form. Typical settings include the minimum number of customers per route, the target trip duration, whether or not you want the vehicles to return to the depot. You can also select the drive type, so whether you're using cars, vans, trucks, bicycles, or walking. Now, once that is all finished, we send it and hit optimize. And in the optimized page, we get the results. A large data set like this will take a few minutes. Smaller data sets can be done in just a few seconds. Now we see this nearly 10,000 data set here, and we see that that has been distilled down into around 50 routes. Each of those routes is shown on the timeline here. And what we see here in this data is the route number, the route name, the cost per drop, the number of drops per route, the number of physical locations, which doesn't always match. Sometimes you have 91 boxes delivered to 90 locations. And keep in mind that this is a flexible parameter. It can be number of items, it can be weight, it can be volume. So that's quite flexible as well. And the amount of time of the route, the time that it should leave the depot, and then of course stop-by-stop information on this timeline showing you all of that information. You can then edit the route. You'll see that any jobs that haven't been able to be assigned are shown on the map as X's. And these X's can then be assigned into any of the routes using the lasso tool. So you can manually override by selecting these, and we'll put them into 3941. Now they've been assigned in. One thing that you can do once that's been done is to resequence that route. So we'll go down to 3941. We will pick the resequence button, and this opens up some other features. We can re-optimize the entire sequence, and during that process, we can change the service time. We can pick the first customer that we want served. We can change the depot start time, effectively changing the shift time. We can, again, turn on or off whether we want to return to depot. We can ignore the time windows if we want. And we can also bump up the speed factor. Use that with caution. And if we don't want to re-optimize the entire sequence, we just want to query the engine for updated ETAs based on the driver's location, we can do an ETA-only request as well. Now, once all of your editing is done and you're happy with your routes, you have a few options. You can either sync it back to your server, again, assuming that you've been set up on the API properly. You can also then download the jobs and the statistics for each route to CSV files, and you see that those will go straight to your downloads folder on your machine. So that is most of the functionality here. There's also the save function. So as you're working, you can save in process. That also allows for supervisors to review the route plans before that they've been synced back to the server. So this has just been a quick introduction on the usage of this Adiona Command module, and please feel free to send us any questions. Thank you.